Welcome everybody to another bookshelf roast here on the channel. I'm going to be going through your submissions and roasting your shelves. It's also been brought to my attention that some people have resubmitted shelves based on my feedback to see if they've improved. Why they would have done that, I have absolutely no idea. We also have over 1,000 responses to this, so probably not going to get to all of them. I've updated to its current form. It will be in the state until I catch up with the Expanse books. You got a decent amount of knackage up top. I always respect a little bit of a lightsaber, but it's displayed terribly. A lot of the presentation here could be tweaked and improved with a little bit of just readjustment. I'm actually not a big fan of leaving top shelf completely barren. Put some books up there, it evens it out more. Overall, I'm saying this is still like a B-. You want me to send a picture of my bookshelf? Okay. Well, this is as basic as you can get. This is just to see. This is just straight up, I buy the books I want to read at the store. I have the taste that a lot of people have, and I don't really care that much aside from just collecting like the darkest editions of books possible, it seems, so. See, this looks like a child's shelf. I'm not sure if it is. Just fair warning, if you're not a child, that's the impression it's giving. And I'm not saying because the knackage is fine. It's the wallpaper combined with the knackage, combined with the tiny carpet, combined with just a lot of the vibe here. If you're a child, wonderful. Enjoy your childhood. If you're an adult, paint. Overall though, it's a charming little shelf. It feels like it would be in like a cozy little reading room for a kid who's gonna grow up to be an overachiever and eventually suffer from depression because he was never actually challenged in grade school, which means he doesn't actually know how to work. So it means once the time you get, you know, that whole meme, once he actually gets to college, he's just overwhelmed all the time. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say this is a perfectly disappointing future of a B. Only made it through A Crown of Swords during my first read through in high school, but rekindled my interest in Wheel of Time last fall. Not looking back, note, nothing goes on the shelf until I read it. You say that as if it's very impressive and there's like maybe a year's worth of reading here. I mean, you're a WWE fan, so I imagine that's quite impressive for you. Good job.
Boom. Roasted.
I might be meaner this time, I guess. I'm gonna go ahead and say this is a light C-. It's got too much barren space. The collection is good, but certainly needs to be filled out more. The knackage is not on theme, just kind of random, and it feels like you're just putting stuff there because it needs to be put there. Okay, we got our first multi-photo sender. First one looks absolutely acceptably fine. This is just what you would see in like every person's bookshelf who's kind of a reader but doesn't put too much thought into it. You're stacking up to the ceiling, which bothers me a little bit. I don't love when you're actually like literally hitting the top, but in some kind of weird way, it also kind of looks complete. I don't know. And then we have this little sad shelf over here that, I don't know, you need to get a better looking shelf than that. That looks like it's rejected from like a Amish farmhouse. I'm gonna say that's a D. You have not sent me a photo of your bookshelf. You sent me a photo of your duster, and your bookshelf is in the background. You're an attendant of JordanCon, that's clear. But overall, I just am annoyed by the fact you couldn't move that for 5 seconds, and you also have is that a Wheel of Time cup? It is. I'm gonna say this is like a C. It's fine, it's got personality, but I'm not in love with it. Oh, we got a Marvel fan! Okay, let's go ahead and take a look here. You got Marvel stuff on the walls, a little bit of weeboo action. That's fine, you're letting everyone know you enjoy hentai. There's no problem with that. You do you, boo-boo. Wow, okay, quite a bit of plushie up top. And oh my god, no, it's more plushie. There's so much you sent me your plushie shelf. It's a quite good plushie shelf. I'd give it a B+ as a plushie shelf, but I'm gonna give you overall a D for a bookshelf because there's not many books here. There's graphic novels, DVDs, and a lot of knackage. And you also sent me your dirty laundry hamper and your shoes. I don't know if you guys are trying to frustrate me at this point, but it's working if you are. One side is alphabetized and the other is sorted by category / vibes. How do you dictate which goes where? Oh my god, that's the worst of all the worlds to do it this way. You do have little skelly feet dangling, which I love. That is so adorable and I dig it. I think there's a really good collection of books. I try not to talk about your actual book collection too much in terms of quality because this isn't a roast of your taste in reading or whatever. I like the knackage. It's very reflective of you as a person. I'm getting a little bit of Gothy, witchy vibes. Spot on. Enjoy it. Couple plushies, maybe a little bit over knackage on here. You also bought the little Instagram thing that everyone's seen promoted to them a million times obnoxiously. So you're obviously susceptible to advertising in some interesting ways, or not interesting ways. It's basic. But the shelf itself stands out, and is very reflective of you. And I always give props for that. If I get a vibe of the person from just looking at the shelf, I like you more as an individual. So for me, this is going to be a B+. This shelf just gave me depression for the day. For some reason, there's letters over here cut off by, I imagine, the shelf. I can't see any way those are actually readable. The room around the shelf is adding a heck of an aura, and with like dramatic undercut lighting, it's like the lighthouse of bookshelves I'm getting through here. Put it in a 4:3 aspect ratio, black and white, this bad boy, and I'm gonna be digging with Willem Dafoe and some homoerotic nights. If you have dirty laundry on the bottom, everything about this is a problem. I'm giving you a D- as a shelf organizer and as just a ambiance creator. Hope I get in, Mr. Goblin. Well, fortunately, Funkos. I'm just gonna start saying what I really think of Funko Pops. That's just the truth. Maybe it's because I saw those weird dragon things. I don't know why, but these are upsetting and they stare at me and it's like they know that I think that about them and I don't know what to do about that. It's like you have tiny little sociopathic dolls ready to get at you in your sleep. I'm gonna be clenching, I'm gonna be nervous. C-. You can hardly call it a shelf, but here it is. Well, you sent me, oh, you're European, or is that South American plug? I actually don't know. No, I think that's South American. I like your manga collection. Not gonna roast that at all. It's all quality. And hey, you know, it might be a small collection, but you haven't made me physically depressed like a lot of people have here today. Oh, you have Cursed Child. If you like Cursed Child, this is an F- and I don't like you. If you don't like Cursed Child, C. I'll give you a C because I don't know. There's personality here in some way I can't really place. Now this is how you do a lot with a little. It's clean. The stuff you really enjoy is clearly importantly, prominently displayed. The decoration around the shelf is changing the vibe entirely. It's not about quantity. It's about the quality of how you treat your books and shelves with what you got. And don't give me that, oh, I can't afford. You can always go and pick up some scraps and nail things together. It's not hard. You can make a shelf that reflects you. Overall, I think this is a really spectacular shelf presentation. Get your bed up off the floor and put it on a box spring. I swear to God. But aside from that, I'm not here to comment on your sleeping habits. I'm just gonna say this is a really nice shelf and give you a B+. That box on top, I got no idea what's inside, but it looks like if I opened it, my life is gonna change forever. Forget the shelf. Okay, forget the shelf. Moving on. Bookshelf and manga shelf. I still haven't fully settled into a new house, so it's not as organized as I'd like it to be. Well, it's pretty damn organized, my guy. There's a little bit of crowd. Does this look crowded or does it look filled out well? That's a philosophical question for the ages. Okay, I'm of the opinion D&D books don't belong on a bookshelf, they belong in your board game shelf, but I'm not going to penalize you that because that's completely subjective. It's just my opinion because it's basically a manual and you put your manuals with your board games, but I understand what you're doing here. I like the manga shelf as well. Man, manga spines really do make an impact a lot of the time. Overall, this is maybe the best shelf in terms of quality and quantity we've gotten so far. There's a little bit of Mall Ninja stuff going on up top, but hey, everyone's got their own aesthetic choices. As long as it's executed well, I'm not going to be mad with you, especially with a spectacular collection of books. I'm going to give this a solid B. This is exciting. At first I went, no, disorganized, but I've been converted by my audience. Side stackers can be fine. If you do them well, you think about the layout, and it presents an aesthetic that still seems intentional, I'm fine with side stackers. That's why you're starting to see them more and more on my shelf. You all have affected me now and helped me grow as a person. I was going to give you mad props and especially actually praise this little guy because it just kind of looks special and comfy cozy to me. But then I noticed up top, Harley Quinn, Poison Ivy, Funko Pops up top. I gotta crap on you a little bit for having those little bobbly butt plugs. But aside from that, super interesting aesthetic. I think you could maybe do a little bit of lighting, but honestly, in this case, there's so much natural light in the room, you might just want to leave it. And the fact that these shelves are clearly next to each other, it looks pretty good. I'm going to bestow you with a very rare A. I gave the last person an A despite them having Funko Pops. I'm feeling very generous today, but this is just such an overwhelming number of Funko Pops. It looks like they're really in charge of your bookshelf. Presentation of the books and spines is a mixed bag. You got some really good ones. You got some confusing placements as well. I love the second shelf a lot more, but then again, you diarrhea Funko Pop all over it. But you tried to bring in a pupper, right? Great move, gonna get everyone here on your side, but then you get one of these live, laugh, love bullshit signs in here. I can and I will. Get it tattooed on you. All right, if it means that much to you, just get it tattooed on you. And you have an entire candle shelf. I have a headache just looking at that. I can't imagine it'd be like to walk by it. Oh, the sense would be overwhelming. But at the end of the day, You got kids' drawings, and that's adorable. So we got a lot of polarizing stuff here. Good looking shelves, interesting presentation, tons of Funko Pops, live, laugh, love BS, but a puppy. I'm gonna give you a B+, but know that you're on very thin ice. And if you put one more Funko Pop on there, I'll break that ice under you. First two in my home office, the brown one in my living room. All right, we have some disgusting Funko. What did Funko Pops do to you guys? Why are you so loyal? Like, and to me, what's shocking is the dollar amount, right? Because these cost tens of dollars sometimes, and you have fleets of them. There's some interesting stuff going on here for the stackage and presentation. Unfortunately, my eye is immediately pulled to the plastic abominations that are filled with absolutely nothing except for dead hopes of dreams and capitalism. I like some of the plushies up top. The shelves themselves are just basic white. Could use a little bit of lighting, but you'd be walking a dangerous line there because pure white walls and shelf with lighting can have a negative effect. So I'm gonna say overall, C. This is a total C. It's a total C. You're fine, but it doesn't reflect you at all, and I think you could do a lot more. Oh wait, there's a third one. C-. Mainly because you put a cat house in here. I know you own a cat. You didn't show me your cat. Actively disliking you currently. This is aggressive. You have committed very hard to an aesthetic I find kind of boring. I'm just gonna say it's something I maybe have said before, I don't know, but I don't particularly like solid white shelves. I think they are overly clean and a lot of books end up clashing with. That being said, side stackage isn't too chaotic. It feels like you're utilizing the space great. I love the chest up top. I think that's the Ravenclaw, Harry Potter. Either way, you clearly are committed to fantasy, and I get a little bit of your personality from here. You're a basic Cosmere fan who grew up reading a lot of Harry Potter, then graduated to Brandon Sanderson because it's one very easy to read fantasy into a more slightly complex adult easy to read fantasy, which, you know, great. That's nothing wrong with that. I'm a big Cosmere fan. You also have Twilight proudly on display still, which lets me know you're not very insecure about what you like. You're willing to throw down and give a little conversation. I like that. You got Lightbringer. I mean, okay, I'm really getting into talking about your collection. I need to stop doing that. I also like this right next to your desk. I like to think every now and then you take a break from work, walk over here, grab a book, sit down, flip through a couple pages. I'm now writing fan fiction about your life. Overall, this is a B-. I really do think it's a good execution of a concept I don't like. It ain't much, but it's what I got for now. I love this. This is so cute. Incredibly expensive, premium, nice books. And you put gummies in front of them and something in a box up top. I'm not sure what it is. I now know who you are. I now know you so well. There's a little ladder off to nowhere, and I'm climbing it into your soul. Right now, I'm giving this an A-. This is clean, but like, what's going on down here? I don't like any of that. In fact, I don't like anything in the bottom here whatsoever. Everything up top it's a little too barren. I don't know. It's just, this is gonna sound mean, and I'm sorry to say this. I do not like this concept of shelf. It just kind of requires a very specific amount of book to pull off unless you start side stacking aggressively. I think Man Carrying Thing has a similar shelf. And Jake, it's an ugly shelf. You didn't even volunteer for a book roast, but hey, you and your 100,000 subs. I don't know why this turned into a Man Carrying Thing roast, but yeah, it's not a good look. I would give this a C-, maybe a D+. You manga and you manga hard. This is maybe the most impressive collection we've looked at today in terms of dollar amount. You are someone who collects and reads aggressively, and you have decorated your house to reflect that. It is interesting, to say the least. It's well thought out, and the shelves themselves are kind of consistent but inconsistent. Overall, I'm just impressed, and I'm gonna give this an A. This is my reading nook. Oh, I love people who send me entire reading nooks. If you show me that you read by your shelf, you got a whole station set up, I'm immediately a big fan of you. You also have your dog's kennel right next to you. I'd like to think you don't put them in there while you're reading. You know, let him out. Let him put your head in his lap. Let him put your head in his lap. Let him put your head in his lap. Don't do that. But if you didn't include the dog in any of these photos, I'm going to be pissed. What's your name? Garrett Gray. Gray, you were on track for an A. I was going to give you an A. I mean that genuinely. You were going to join the rare ranks of people who, like, this is the Great British Baking Show, this is Paul Hollywood giving you a handshake. But then you didn't give me the dog. And it's a big kennel, which means it's a big pupper. My favorite kind of pupper. I am so angry with you. You've been demoted to a C-, and there's no coming back. You're gonna tweet at me a little bit from now like, oh, here's the... No, it's far too late. Your pride and joy. Let's go ahead and look at this here. Oh, you're putting the boxes? You're keeping the Funko boxes. You've taken them out of the box, okay? The value of the box is officially 0. That's how that works. You're never, ever going to put them back into the box. Even if you move, you can just take all the Funko Pops and... I don't get... Oh my god. It looks like you've collected nearly every Harry Potter one, and fun fact, if you actually do collect them all and put them under your bed at night, J.K. Rowling will come to you in your sleep and take your skin. The shelves themselves I can't even process, because the Funko Poppage is literally like it's a blinding wall in front of every single shelf. It's your pride and joy, you should be ashamed. Here's my Ungle Hoffering... Wow! Whoa! Okay, here is what I am talking about. Will, you have done something beautiful here. You didn't have enough books to completely fill out the shelf, but you've then strategically placed things and put some knackage to not make it distracting, maybe the bottom a little bit, but the fact that there are vinyls down there is doing some saving. A little bit of wire management's needed as well. It's keeping you from an A+, but there is an ambiance created here that I am a tremendous fan of, and I just see this shelf getting prettier the more books you collect. Fantastic job by Jade Legacy. What are you waiting for? And that's an A. Here's a bookshelf from you all the way from Norway. You didn't need to tell me you're from Norway. I know you are because you plants. Board game / bookshelf. I think those are board games up there. With a little plushie. That's cool. I'm fine with that. And now you just sent me rock. Why are you... If nothing else, it's better that 15 minutes ago when the books were still packed from moving. Also, the box is where I keep my cool rocks. That box on top, I got no idea what's inside, but it looks like if I opened it, my life is gonna change forever. I appreciate the explanation because you're keeping me from wondering just in case. I don't know if I would have, but you gave me some anxiety solution for the day. I'm gonna give you a bonus for that. I was gonna give you a C+, I'll move it to a B- because you just moved apparently. And you're already executing a lot better than a lot of people here. And so for anyone who actually is ranking lower than this right now, just know this person just moved and they're doing better than you. Filled out shelf with some really nice additions. I think you probably spent a lot of of time. Holy shit. We have a new most impressive shelf of the day. Good God. I even love the giant bulb used to illuminate it. It kind of gives me like a mad scientist vibe going on. Like upstairs, there's all kinds of beakers and dangerous stuff going on, and here's where you come down for a little bit of order and chaos. You even got some like steampunky guns going on. I'm more of a cyberpunk gun guy, but these steampunk ones are really cool. And you even got a little bit of a gaming area right next to it, as well as your reading nook included. I like that there's a little bit of non-book stuff going on, but it seems very pushed to the side. Everything's coming across beautifully here. Yep, I'm doing it. You get the A+, handshake. Good job. I'm a big fan of you. I want to hang out in this room. It's better than my shelves, and no criticism. I actually think this room wouldn't benefit from any additional lighting. I think the lighting is perfect. Good job. I actually used to have more gnomes on it. That's just the best caption I've ever had for a bookshelf. That's great. You need to also buy a copy of Fifth Sorceress and force yourself to read it because it's got gnomes and the meme needs to be complete. If you do that, I will upgrade you genuinely to an A. As of right now, it's a C. It's fine. Too much knackage. That is... I love the pop of neon, very much so working. The knackage is just right. There's kind of this organized, disorganized chaos. There's clear favorites that you've predominantly put, but every book feels like it's been read and at least looked at. That's an A. I even love the microscope up top. This is beautiful. I very few notes. Maybe balance out the lighting a bit, but I even think that's adding personality just having it there. Wow. This is pretty. Maybe I'm finding a new thing I really like. This is such an odd thing. Big hanging light in front of a shelf illuminating it. We saw it before and I dig it, and I definitely dig it here. It shows effort, it's got a clean look, everything is displayed well here. You guys are really making it hard to roast you because this is also an A. I love it. Good job. Oh, we got a pupper. Pupper's an A+ pupper. The shelf, though, this needs work. C-. It really needs a once-over in terms of organization, placement, and aesthetics. C-. Especially if you're official Cosmere cult. Official Cosmere cult, give me a prominent Cosmere shelf. What are you doing? D-. You have a brand and you're not even living up to it. Infiltrator from the outside world. Name 3 Brandon Sandin characters with depression. Go. What's with the Zootopia love? I'm very concerned by that. I'm gonna give that a... Okay, so here's the conundrum, right? I officially have one of the giant Pokemon Funko Pops. It was given to me as a bit of a meme, a little of a mum. I can't bash you for having one of those. If you just got a giant Pokemon Funko Pop, who am I to say it's wrong, right? I'm not gonna mark you down for that. I am gonna mark you down for putting your printer on here. That is just horrifying. It doesn't even look like it's right next to your desk. Like, you'd have to run wires to that bad boy, unless it's wireless, in which case you could be putting it anywhere. There's no reason to be putting it aggressively here on the shelf. You could hide it in a closet. Why do people feel like their printer needs to be prominently displayed? So I'm going to give you a B- and hope you never dabble in more Funko Pops. I love a corner shelf. It's like the bookshelf wants to hug you, and you got a little sewing machine down there, which is very cute. In case of dragons break glass, that's adorable. Very good level of knackage. I don't necessarily love the placement of things. I would probably reorganize that, but overall, I genuinely love this. I'm going to give this a B+. I think this is very cute, and I don't even mind the plantage. And the windmills, that's awesome. It's messy on first glance, but I think in reality, it's just a great reflection of you, and the vinyl selection up top is super duper sexy. And I'm still a little bit sick, so the energy levels, it's very fake. I want to be under a blanket. God, I did get some gorgeous shelves here. Oh my God, that Funko Poppage. What? Okay. I see which one I really need to end on, though. You put me on the TV. I am a bit against TVs being in front of the shelf, but you got the posters of what you love. You clearly put the reading nook effort in. It's not violating the shelf itself very much, and the aesthetics of the shelf are pretty spectacular. I also eat peppers like that out of a bowl, and you put the kitty cat in there. What's not to enjoy? That's gonna be a solid B+ to me. I'd move the TV. That is a super adorable little book nook. I totally dig that. I love this. This is an A. I will forgive the Funko Pops. 1, because you got Legos, and I immediately forgive Funko Pops for Legos. But 2, it's just brilliantly utilized. You even have like decorated pages out on a whole shelf, which I've never seen accomplished this well. This is an A. I love this. Great job. And the absolute vodka in the top. I'm getting to know you as a person too. All right, I have officially roasted books until my camera just overheated and I had to turn it back on. So I'm going to call it a day there. I'm sorry I did not get to literally everybody's, but do not worry. There will be more book roasts, bookshelf roasts, and book roasts, I'm sure, in the future. Like and subscribe if you have not already, and hit the Patreon if you'd like to support what I do here. Check out the second channel where we do movie discussions. We're going through the AFI Top 100 films, and we just did Psycho. I got books, I got merch, and have a great one. Love you. Bye.